Now listen, if there's one thing that I love, it's taking a look at, peeking at your Football Manager adventures, not in a weird way. But today, we're going to have a look at some more FM24 saves, the adventures that you've been up to in the early days of this year's Football Manager game. It's still early days. It's not even 2024 yet, but some of the things that you've managed to achieve are just, well, they're extraordinary. And we're going to have a look at a few of them in today's video. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. Come on. Okay, we start today's video in this save here, submitted by Eduardo. Eduardo, thank you so much for sharing your save with me. This is an AS Roma save. He says, when describing it, he's been playing FM for a long time, and every single year he does his first save with the team he supports IRL, which is Roma. I feel like a lot of people do that, right? Your first saves of the year. Is this something you do? Let me know in the comments down below. I think a lot of people go for the team they support, get to grips with the new game, you know the players, etc. Eduardo does Roma every single year, and as you can see in this save here, we're now in 2030 and he's just off the back of winning the league title. 93 points, with Gianluca Scamacca being the top scorer in the league and Destiny Udogie being the highest average rating. He actually mentions Destiny Udogie in the description here. He says the best signings that he brought in are Romsas and Udogie in the last 2 seasons. Look at the amount of goals he scored as a left back. And I feel like with this average rating, we definitely should have a look at how many goals he scored as a left back. My skin has reset there. He scored, wow. Okay, from left back, he scored 9 goals, got 9 assists, 6 player of the matches as well. £16 million after a loan. He moved from Spurs to Brighton at the start of the game. That feels really, really cheap for Brighton to pick him up for that, and then they didn't even really play him. Look, £16 million though, an inspired signing, 9 goals from left back, enough to go and win the league title. This save I think is going to be pretty good because I've just noticed something else as well. There's also a Champions League win here against PSG. Do you know what? In 6 seasons with PSG, if we have a look at the job history, these are the seasons, 7 seasons, to go and win the Champions League, he's won the Serie A in the first season here. First, second, first, 5th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. I like it because it feels authentic as well. He hasn't just won the league every single year here. But have a look at this most recent season. He's won 4 competitions, which include, I saw it on the previous page, include the Champions League. He was, I don't think I can click on it there. If we have a look at that Champions League final, then I want to see it. It was in extra time. A 1-0 win over PSG. It always feels good if it's PSG that you beat in these finals, I swear. There's Romsas, the other amazing signing that he pointed out, a Norwegian winger. Not actually somebody I'm too familiar with, to be honest. Jakob Napoleon Romsas, great name. He's 25 here, 26 here, so he must start off pretty young. He's made 141 appearances for the team, scored 52 goals. He looks like, I mean, £12 million from Milan, who signed him for £2 million and then shipped him off for a nice little profit there. Yeah, good signing. I like this save a lot. I feel like this is a fun one because it feels authentic. Here's the team. I mean, the titling of the tactic is truly inspired. Creativity at its very best. He's called it the 4-3-3 Roma, and it's a 4-3-3. With Roma, of course. Turati Dallo, who's actually weirdly good in FM. Has anyone noticed that? We've got Antonio Silva, of course. Bastoni, great Italian league signing there. Dorgu, loads of people in these saves that we're sharing, loads of people have used Dorgu. Somebody specifically pointed him out as their best player they'd use, which is cool. Kimmich looks like he's holding down this midfield despite being injured at the moment. Fratesi, Gravenberch, cool midfield, I like that. Romsas on the right, Jota on the left. That's fun. And then Scamacca leading the line. He is great in FM. He's everything that I would look for in a striker. Well, he's big, tall, and he's pretty fast, and he scores lots. 18 finishing for Scamacca. Wow. West Ham fans, do you agree? Is the question there. I like this one. I just want to go and check as well the other competitions that were won in this one. Can we see? Yeah, manager history here, job history. Let's just go through. So they won the league 3 times, won a few awards in there. First season, it was Europa League and the league. Love that. Second season, the European South American Club Challenge. I have no idea what that is. Serie A and Champions League in the 3rd season. Super Cup, Italian Cup, Champions League again. Is that three Champions League? 1, 2... 3 Champions League wins in your first save of the year as well. That is very impressive. Eduardo, I'm a big fan. I rate it highly. GG's on the save. And also thank you very much for sending it in. By the way, just before we move through to the next save, can I just say thank you very much for being here. If you're enjoying this type of video, I actually really love making these videos, reacting to your guys' adventures in the game, I usually post out the Google Forms where you can submit these types of things. If you want your saves showcased in future videos, make sure you follow me on Twitter. I usually tweet them. Sometimes I'll put them in the Discord as well. Two places that, if you get involved, we've got a great community going on, so get involved with those things. I'll put the links to them in the description of today's video. I'm thinking my next video where I look for your best things, as well as doing the best ever team in FM, which we will continue because I've got some great submissions. I want to find the best players ever. I want to create a team, an 11 of the best goalkeeper, right back, left back, etc., all the way through to make an 11 of the best new gen players that you've ever had in your saves, and then maybe we'll play a game with them or something. I feel like it's going to be a fun video. Anyway, keep an eye out for that one. And also thank you for being here today. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it. Leave a like on the video if you enjoy it too. And leave me some comments. Comment on things. Just say lovely hair today, Clayts, or something like that. Anyway, let's move through to the next one. Okay, next up, we have got a Bournemouth save. Another Bournemouth save. I feel like we've had a couple of these in these sharing save showcase videos, haven't we? This time, it is the save of Elias. Elias, thank you again so much for handing in, sound very teacher there, don't I? Sending in your save. This one with Bournemouth is in 2028. So 4 or 5 seasons in here, we have got Bournemouth winning the Premier League. And this maybe is why the save ended. Maybe that was your goal all along. Pretty cool to see Bournemouth winning this league. I'm not sure we're going to get those same shouts of saves coming as we got in the last Bournemouth save, I think. This time it's been done by 1 point at the end of the season here. Arsenal in second, Liverpool in third. I can see some old familiars in this team too. Benjamin Sesko has finished top goal scorer for you. Jeremy Frimpong is also in there too. I love Frimpong. I love him in real life, actually. I love that Leverkusen team. So much fun under Xabi Alonso, but we definitely are getting distracted by that right now, aren't we? Champions League, it was a semi-final exit against Real Madrid. We'll check whether we've won that Champions League previously. Perhaps not. It sounds like a tall ask in, what, 4 or 5 seasons? 5 seasons by the end of this one, right? They have won the league, as we talked about. Lost in the 4th round to Liverpool. Carabao Cup was quarterfinal, lost to Luton, and then the Community Shield lost to Arsenal. So some disappointments in the other competitions there, but that Premier League win probably made you feel a lot better. Let's have a look at the team, because as you discussed when describing this save, this one's all about the players that you managed to bring in. There's been a lot of transfers happened here. I've included, I want to show you the whole squad as well. You say you won the league with Bournemouth after a tycoon takeover, which is pretty fun. I'm going to check how much you spent in this most recent season. Only 59 million. Maybe it was 336 million before that. 277 million out though, so actually overall the net spend isn't too much. Kevin Shade has gone to Bayern Munich for 99 million. That's a great sale right there. How much before? 206. Okay, let's see if we can spot when you got the tycoon takeover. Was it this season where you spent 228 million? Even then you made a profit? Who did you sell for that much money there? This is I see where you've generated some of your money here, Elias. You've sold players to Saudi, including Tyler Adams for £50 million to Al Ahly and Justin Kluivert for 46 million to Al Nassr. Is that the same each other season as well? Yeah, there's some more money going here. There's 17 million for Chris Mepham. Weirdly good on FM actually as well, though, him. Al Nassr have bought him. Maybe even more in the most recent season. A little bit. There's Nicholas Raskin going for 48 million to Al Ittihad. And also, you had Sean Longstaff and sold him for 11 million as well. Great signings, though. I love it. Let's have a look at this tactic because I want to see actually just what's made up this very Football Manager type team. That's the vibe I'm getting with players like Sesko and Kudus, and there's even more in here, isn't there? I think Frimpong we talked about before. Mark Gahey. Diate I really like too. Zabani was already there. That's a fun one. João Neves. You picked up some of the wonder kids for this year as well. Samu Omorodion. Love him as a striker. He is, in fact, I've done a video ranking my favourite strikers on FM24. Let's just say he ranks quite highly in that video. I'm not going to spoil it. Go and watch that video if you want to find out who I think are the best strikers in FM24. He's pretty up there, right? If you've watched it, you know, don't you? There's also Gnonto in this team. Branthwaite's really good. Fofana's there. We talked about Sesko. Charles de Ketelaere there. Pinyaev. Pinyaev, actually, I've seen links with Liverpool this week. Not sure how true it is, but there's a fun one for you. Frimpong Doyle, Rico Lewis, Theate Gay, Al Hamshari. Okay, I was going to say, not familiar with him. He's a new gen, but he's a very good new gen, actually. 6'4" centre-back. I think you were playing him. Oh, yeah, you've got the 3 at the back. I was going to say you were playing him out wide, but yeah, playing on this right-hand side here. I want to now see, did you win the league before this? No. This is your first league title. You are in the Champions League. Did you win the Champions League at any point? I did guess not. Okay, you didn't. Do you know what? Maybe we're expecting too much. You got to this semi-final here, didn't you? Yeah, you got pumped by Real Madrid. They beat you 5-1 at home. I mean, I'm sorry for even showcasing this here, but I feel like we had to, right? Do you know what? You've got a bit unlucky there as well. You had 13 shots, only 2 on target. The XG of 2.44 for Real Madrid, and they've scored 5. Camavinga with 2. Evan Ferguson with 2. Let's have a look at this Real Madrid team. It's got Evan Ferguson leading the line. I think that's quite fun, isn't it? Anyway, let's not take away from the actual achievement. You won the Premier League with Bournemouth, and that's a big GG's from me. Thank you so much for sending in your save. Let's move through to our third and final save to have a look at in today's video. And our final save of today's video is that of Peter. Peter has ended up here in 2030 at Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga and ended up quite high up in the table. In fact, they've won the Bundesliga in this final season here. 34 games, 83 points, dominating the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich down in 4th, which in itself is a really cool story and a really cool save. However, I really like the storyline of this save and I wanted to tell it from the start. I think the best way to do that is to go to this page here, which has the job history of Peter. We haven't really looked at too many saves in these types of videos where people have moved around to different clubs, and this year I'm doing a journeyman as my Twitch/live stream save. We're also we're also streaming live here on YouTube this year as well. A journeyman is the whole idea. I want to move around and go to different clubs and adapt as you go through. So I liked this. I like the story of it. And Peter says he started at his favourite club in the Eredivisie, which was FC Utrecht. The aim of the save at this stage was apparently to go and try and win the Eredivisie and the Dutch league with Utrecht. But after the first season, after finishing 4th, he got a job interview for Feyenoord, one of my other favourite teams in world football these days. I think they've got a really cool young team. Arne Slot's doing cool things with them, even though PSV are dominating in Holland at the moment. I think they've won 15 out of 15, which is just outrageous. Again, we digress. Feyenoord, though, offered a interview to Peter, and Peter says, I got offered an interview with Feyenoord and asked my mum what I should do. And clearly she said, yes, go for it. In fact, she said, go for it as long as it wasn't Ajax. I think we should just say in today's video, shout out to Peter's mum. That's what I want to see as a comment in today's video. And then he moved to Feyenoord, where he did go and win the Dutch league. He won 2 competitions, the Eredivisie and also the Cup, the Johan Cruyffschal. And then after that season, decided to jump ship again. He ended up going to Sevilla in Spain, finishing 3rd. He says he went there to try and win La Liga and stop the dominance of Real and Barca, but unfortunately lost the support of the team in the middle of the next season. Shall we go and have a look at this season? 2025-26, he finished, I think it was, wow, where was it there? He finished 3rd, and then after that, he lost the support. So 2025-26, there's that 3rd place finish, 77 points. It's very respectable. But then next season, the wheels fell off apparently, and he found himself, I mean, they finished up in 4th overall, but maybe he was so far behind. In fact, Real Madrid, you try and stop their dominance, they got 104 points that season. You can see why he decided to jump ship at this stage. And from there, he took the Spain job, didn't ever win or do anything with them, it seems, but ended up going to Wolfsburg, where he's been for 4 seasons, a 7th place finish, a consecutive 4th place finishes, and then finally this year, he has won Manager of the Year, won the Bundesliga, and he's got himself to this situation here. Big shout out, Peter. I really like this save. It feels like a really fun way to start the FM24 cycle. The team's quite cool as well. It's not particularly meta, I would say. There's some really cool players in there. There's a striker here called Fox Anderson, who, it's a fantastic name. He's also a Swedish young striker who's 6'3". I love him as a player. Maybe he could go into the new gen video that I want to do. Not sure he's quite that elite, but still, he's very cool. Fox Anderson's a great name too. Here's Salvatore Massi, who has, why have you given him the number 2? I mean, he can play defensive. He's a striker. Why have you given him the number 2? You lose marks if we were going to be grading and marking this one for that number. There's a load of new gens in this, actually. Angal is another one, look. Number 12, slightly more respectable. Is there any other weird numbers in here that I need to be going at you for? No, I think the number 2 was Greg Richards. I guess he's a left back. Yeah, you can get away with the number 3 there. Some really cool players. Bichiabu, I really like him as a centre back again. Very he's big. He's a big man, which you know I like that. Sounds weird, doesn't it? Anyway, Guillaume Rest in goal as well. One of my favourite young keepers on this year's game as well. I love it. I love the story. Also, another link to what we said earlier, Xabi Alonso being the inspiration for the tactic with the 3 at the back there. We've got Feyenoord, we've got Leverkusen, we've got Xabi Alonso, all of my favourite things going on right here in this save. I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you so much for sending it in, Peter, and big shout out to your mum. That, though, is where we're going to leave today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy these types of videos, please do let me know, and I'm very happy to do more. Like I say, I find them really enjoyable. I do genuinely really like looking at what you guys are up to. Keep an eye out for that new gen video, which we'll be making soon. I also maybe want to do the most obscure, weird tactics. Maybe do a little video where we showcase the more crazy tactics that you might have been rocking in this year's game so far. That, though, is where we'll leave it. Subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, have a lovely rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.